The behaviour of both Serena Williams and the chair umpire during the women's final just won't go away. Williams lost to Naomi Osaka in a bad-tempered final. It rather took the gloss off Osaka's first Grand Slam victory. She was in tears when she was given the trophy as a partisan crowd booed the match officials. But the newly crowned champion was in diplomatic mood when asked about Serena's behaviour as she celebrated at the top of the Rockefeller Center on Sunday.
I know that Serena's the crowd favorite. It's New York, it's in America, and it's the US Open, so I know everyone knew how badly she wanted to win the 24th Grand Slam, and for me, I felt like I was a kid, and I know for sure if I was in the crowd, I would have been pulling for Serena too.
The Women's Tennis Association has come out in support of Serena's claims that she was treated differently than a male player would have been. Their chief executive, Steve Simon, released a statement on Sunday saying the WTA was committed to all players being treated the same and that they didn't believe that was done during the final. Novak Djokovic has responded as well. He says the umpire was harsh on Serena, but that sexism doesn't come into it. Italian motorbike rider Romano Fenati has been kicked out of his team after grabbing a rival's brake lever during Sunday's Moto2 race in San Marino. This is the incident which Fenati's team described as an irresponsible act endangering the life of another rider. The Maranelli snipers have terminated his contract. He was set to join Forward Racing next year, but their bike manufacturers have said they will oppose the deal. Two Miami Dolphins players have knelt during the national anthem ahead of their team's NFL season opener. Kenny Stills and Albert Wilson took a knee while teammate Robert Quinn stood but raised a fist during the Dolphins game against the Tennessee Titans. The three players have continued the protests against police brutality and racial injustice, which was started 2 years ago by former San Francisco quarterback Colin Kaepernick. Kaepernick tweeted his support for the players. He said, "My brothers continue to show their unwavering strength by fighting for the oppressed. They have not backed down even when attacked and intimidated. Their courage will move the world forward. Love is at the root of our resistance." The Dolphins ran out 27-20 winners in that match against the Titans. Elsewhere, Baltimore hammered the Buffalo Bills. The Packers edged the Bears. Tampa Bay defeated New Orleans in a high-scoring game. And the New England Patriots also got off to a winning start. Two games coming up on Monday night. The New York Jets are at the Detroit Lions, and the Rams and Raiders clash in Los Angeles. One fan has died and at least 40 have been injured in a stampede ahead of Madagascar's home Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Senegal. It happened before kickoff as thousands of fans were trying to access the stadium through the solitary entrance in Antananarivo. There was a minute's silence for the victims before kickoff, but the match still went ahead and finished 2-2. Nations League matches have just been kicking off across Europe. European champions Portugal are without starman Cristiano Ronaldo as they take on Italy in Lisbon. Sweden host Turkey in the second tier. Elsewhere, Scotland begin their campaign against Albania. Just a few months after scoring in the World Cup for Japan, Keisuke Honda is back on the international stage, but now as coach of Cambodia. Honda retired from the Japan team after Russia. Although he still plays club football in Melbourne, his new team took the lead in this friendly against Malaysia. Soi Vissal's rocket giving the home crowd hope of a new dawn in Phnom Penh. But they had lost to Afghanistan in their previous match in March, and they couldn't hold on against Malaysia either. The visitors ending up 3-1 winners. The teams are set to meet again in Asian Football Suzuki Cup in November. England cricketer Alistair Cook has scored a century in what will be his final test innings for his country. Cook scored 147 on day 4 of the final test against India at the Oval. He'll retire at the end of this, his 161st match as the most capped test cricketer in his country's history. Joe Root getting a century as well before England took 3 Indian wickets to close in on victory. Co-hosts Italy and Bulgaria made triumphant starts to the Volleyball Men's World Championship on the opening day. Italy's National Tennis Stadium in Rome was packed out for their match with Japan. The Italians beat their opponents in straight sets. They're looking for their first world title since 1998 and 4th overall. Bulgaria were too strong for Finland in Varna. Their top scorer was Valentin Bratoev with 14 points. The competition resumes on Wednesday when champions Poland begin the defense of their title against Cuba. Some of the world's best surfers have proved you don't have to be anywhere near the coast to catch the best waves. The latest stop on the World Surf League Championship tour took surfers 161 kilometers inland to a surf pool designed by 11-time world champion Kelly Slater. The man-made wave gives competitors one of the longest barrel rides in competition. Slater couldn't quite pull it off in Sunday's final, though. The honor belonged to Gabriel Medina of Brazil, narrowing the gap between him and standings leader Felipe Toledo. In the women's competition, Hawaii's Carissa Moore won to move to fourth in the standings with 2 events remaining this season.